त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवते.
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So we saw last time तस्माद् ऋचः सामयजूंषि दीक्षा यज्ञाश्च सर्वे क्रतवो दक्षिणाश्च संवत्सरश्च यजमानश्च लोकाः सोमो यत्र पवते तत्र सूर्यः. This is all getting acquainted with what is Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not a guy in the sky. Okay. Bhagavan is that which is manifest as the universe, and of course, in the creation, we cannot mention every single thing in the creation. So, what is mentioned is also very important. What is mentioned is centered around I, the Jiva, the conscious being, who is a human being and who is a Mishra. In fact, everybody's last name, as Pujya Swamiji said, should be Mishra only. Why? Because a mix up of Papa Punya. That is why. And not only that, it's also the person is Mishrita, mixed up, full of complexes and full of all kinds of problems. I don't love myself. Nobody, therefore, nobody loves me and nobody wants me. Everybody takes me for granted. Like these, all these problems are there. And so therefore, it is all the creation that's being described is all centered on I. Centered on I is the creation because the person is self centric, naturally. And the self being the Atma, which is the center of everything, then there is no question at all here. All that is there is you. You are the center, which is why Vedanta is very, very lovable. That's why we love to study Vedanta. We love to immerse in it. Why? Because it is all about me, me, me. That's why it is called me mamsa. It's all about me. Me mamsa means analysis, but this is what it is. So therefore, the very interesting what is mentioned here is of use to the person. Which person? The person studying the Upanishad, the mixed up person, the person without any idea what to do, and the person who is feeling like I need guru, I need guidance, I need to come out of this samsara. The person who is succumbing to the notion that I am a karta. That is samsari. Very, very sorry. I am a samsari. And so this is the samsari, succumbing to the notion I am the karta. So then what for karma? Karma is for what? Action is for what? Bhogaya karma. Nobody does karma for the sake of karma. Karma means I'm interested in the karma phala afterwards. And all karma is for karma phala only. No karma is for just for the sake of karma. Even the karma yogi, supposedly, what does he or she want? Antahkarana shuddhi. That is the phala. That one is a phala kankshi. Bhogaya sarvam karma. All karma is for bhoga alone. Even when it is for yoga, there is a fruit which one wants. I want my antahkarana to be clean, to be free of notions and mix-ups and complexes. That is the idea, free of raga dvesha. And so in all these, in this whole section, one might wonder why only certain things that have come from Bhagavan are mentioned, why not other things? This is the reason, because you are at the center, and whatever you need and whatever wakes you up. Because if some tasmad dinosaur hai sambhuta ha, you're not interested. Let the dinosaur come from Bhagavan. What is it to me? They're not even here now. Why should I worry? And you may think like that. But then all the Vedas have come. Then, even though if you say why Vedas, then all the kratus have come. Kratu means ritual. Then you wake up. Oh, ritual. What for ritual? Because if you want money, you do Sri Sukta Homa. Lots and lots of people come. And they have this huge Homa Kunda. Big. 9-yard sari they will put for the goddess. And thousands of people come. And then you say, you know, we are having, I'm hosting a satsang in my house, and one Swami is going to come and talk about Mundakopanishad. Then how many people will come? 4. Okay. Yeah. So that that is why that is why this is what it is, because the interests are in the kratus. Interests are there. Why kratu? Because after getting tired and after focusing so much on all the things, this, what is that? Setting up the yajna is itself tiring. Lot of ayasa. Nothing is nirayasa. Full of ayasa it is, and then one is tired. So many bricks have to be done. You have to hand make the bricks. There is a little mold. You put that in, and then it has to be dried in the sun. If you are living in Sweden, forget that. 6 months of the year, no sun. It is dark all the time. And what are you going to do? And then what? And then if there are 108 bricks you have made, and the 98th one cracks, what do you have to do? Begin from the first brick to make again. Lot of ayasa is there. And what you put is not ghee, it is ajyam. Ajyam is not exactly ghee, it is butter melted by the baby sun rays, which to which it has been exposed. So then you think, okay, I will do it the old fashioned way. And then you put some butter out in the morning. And let's say you're in India, you're not in Sweden. Half an hour later, you come out and you see one cat licking its lips. Finished. Another kind of yajna. That one you did not anticipate. Bhuta yajna took place, not your yajna, your kratu that you wanted. So there is so much ayasa, there is so much, what should I say, effort. Ayasa means effort. There's a lot of effort, and along with the effort, there's a lot of disappointment also. When will this happen? What is going to happen? How? And then finally, the day of the yajna arrives. You save your ghee, you save your flowers, you save everything, and then finally, the yajna is done. And then what? Then before you get the punya, you have to give dakshina to all the priests who helped with the yajna. Without dakshina, no karma phala that you want will come. Karma phala will come, but bad karma phala will come because the priests are going to be silently, if not overtly, abusing you. And so, and also you cannot say there are 6 priests and I will give them equal. Not allowed. There is head priest and he should get more than the assistant head priest, and then that assistant should get more than the other, Janta priests that have come. Like this, there are all these rules of Dakshina. And Dakshina, why should I be worried about Dakshina? It's not a good thing because I have to spend money. Only by spending, you get the karma phala. Then samvatsarascha, division of time, kala, very important. And then finally it lands on yajamanascha. Yajamana is you, the one who is doing the yajanam, the one who is doing all these rituals, for whom the rituals have a pertinence, a relevance that is there. And then why is the yajamana doing these rituals? To go to various lokas. This is called, what is the name for it? Wanderlust. Wanderlust means I have a lust for wandering. Idhar jana hai, fir udhar jana hai, then I have to get this, I have to get that, then I have to be here, I have to go here. And then people make a list. Then I have gone to Switzerland and seen the Alps. And then Alps means where that mountains. And then I have seen Eiffel Tower. I have gone to France. Then this another checklist. I have gone to Italy and seen all the sites there. People want all that. And then what happens? Suddenly they become spiritual. And then what do they want to do? They want to go to Char Dham Yatra. Same thing. It is just couched under this spiritual thing. Some Shani Dasha must be starting if you want to go to Yatra. Really? Well, what are you going to get? Yatra means what? You know? And so what are you going to get? Same thing. It's just like a holiday with what should I say? With a religious or a spiritual stamp on it. At least the people going to France and Switzerland, they are being honest. Yes, I want to see the sights, I want to be with the people, I want to see how other people live. Here, it is being couched under this, oh, I'm going to get punya, I'm going to do this. Punya sitting at home also, helping somebody in need, you can get. No problem, if that's what you are after. But this is what is called wanderlust. So I want to see Char Dham, I want to see the origin of Ganga, Gangotri. Origin of Ganga, how you can see? Where it is. You have to go and sit on a glacier and meditate. That's all it is. Origin of Yamuna, how you can see? And then this Badrinath, Kedarnath. Kedarnath, I don't know how it is now, but in the olden times before the renovation, you had to go on a donkey. The last portion had to be done on donkey. And that the hillside, the donkey would go. This is in the 1960s and 70s. You had to go on donkey, and poor donkey. You are giving bhara. Your poor donkey already it has to carry you. And what punya will you get? I don't know. And so then certain other places also in India, you have to go on horse or donkey in the cliff side when the temple is on top. And the donkey is hugging the mountain side, which has got some surface, because it is also afraid of looking this side. And so the donkey is always on one side. Even when it is on solid ground, it is on one side because of that abhyasa bala. It is like that. So why? All in search of some loka. Because this life I have messed up. Here one could have studied Vedanta, but no, I am going to mess it up. I have messed it up. So plan B. Plan B kya hota hai? Get crash into Swarga. Plan B. That's what. And what will you do in Swarga? Tetam bhuktva Swargalokam vishalam kshine punye Martyalokam dhadamiti vishanti. That is what it is. having experienced the Swarga and all that it has to offer, you get kicked out of Swarga. Indra will make sure that you are kicked out of Swarga. Lord Yama, who is the warehouse of all the souls, the departed souls, will make sure that you come back to this loka. What happened? Nothing. Everything starts all over again. That is what we studied in verse number 6. Sorry to be so pessimistic, but this is how the Upanishad is wanting you to have what do they call it? Revulsion therapy. Revulsion therapy is a kind of a therapy. And what is that? What is that therapy? That therapy is the therapy that is, um, let's say somebody is an addict, like they are into alcohol. So they go to revulsion therapy. So first they are shown a wonderful bottle and a glass and a chair and a table, and the person starts to get very excited. Oh yes, this is my favorite. Yes, yes, yes. But he is seeing it on the screen, but still he thinks, oh, this is my favorite. And soon as he gets excited seeing that, then the people show some nala, some drain full of sludge and some sewage and all these things. Then the person says, Chi, I don't want this at all. So here also it is revulsion therapy. All these verses 5, 6, 7, etc. So the next one also we have seen, but just to because we have not met for some time, Tasmacha deva bahudha samprasutaha sadhya manushyaha pashavo vayamsi प्राणापानौ व्रीहि यवौ तपश्च श्रद्धा सत्यम ब्रह्मचर्यम विधिश्च. So lot of celestials came. Celestials means what? People who have more punya than you. That is what celestial means. So punya pradhana sharira turns into devas, yakshas, kinnaras, gandharvas, karma devas, pitrus. All these people are called pitrus. Means not just a serial killer who died will not go into pitraloka. Okay, pitrus means dharmic pitrus. We have to understand that. And so don't look for some Al Capone and people like that over there. It will not be, they will not be there. And then, so these are all having punya vishesha. A lot of punya will make you be like a pitru or any other deva. And then what else? Sadhyaha. Sadhyaha, another kind of deva called sadhyas. Then manushyaha. Manushya, everybody knows, human beings. And then papa pradhana shariram is what? Pashu and birds. This is papa pradhana. So lot of, mostly papa means you will become a cat, dog, bird, etc. So then pranapana, pranapana means the hunger and thirst that was given. And when since hunger and thirst is there, pranic functions are there. Vrihi, yavau, corn and barley, etc. were given. Food was given. See, corn is gluten free, so options are there. And so gluten free, barley has gluten. So between the two, one gluten free option Bhagavan has given. And then so tapascha. Tapaha means the ability to be without all these things also given. The ability to do tapas. Why will one do tapas? For the clearing, for discipline, for antahkarana shuddhi, tapas is given. And then tapas cannot be done without shraddha, without the belief, pending understanding that this is leading me somewhere. And then satyam, satya bhashanam, the ability to satyam here is upalakshana for dharma. So the ability to follow dharma given. Brahmacharyam, religious discipline, abstinence, all this is given. Vidhi, all these vidhis, vidhi means injunction. Kalanjam na bhakshayet, suram na pibet. Vedic injunctions are all given. And so this means what? This means that all this is given. All this is given to whom? Given to me. Given to me to make my life better. The whole universe is centered on me alone. Really. Everything is for me. And so the here already we saw earlier in the last section we saw tapashraddhe he upavasantyaranye shanto danto bhikshacharyancharantah. We saw that. And same thing, where is that tapas and shraddha comes? Mundakopanishad has a good memory, unlike us, and Mundakopanishad is connecting that and saying, look, look, look. See, that tapas and shraddha, where did it come from? It came from nothing but Bhagavan and all the vidhi. And vidhishcha, vidhi means it includes nishedha also. It includes the don'ts also. So this is the um, this is the very beautiful. So brahmacharya has come, tapas has come, and then shraddha. Shraddha is going to talk a little more about this shraddha because it is important. So what is this shraddha? This shraddha is very important because this is trust. Shraddha means trust. And so why is this trust important? Because life is full of distrust. Life is full of distrust. And then you have to lock your doors. Why? Because somebody else will come. Let them come. No, 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 they will take away. They will take away things in my house. So let them take it. Are you kidding? What do you mean let them take it away? With hard earned money, I got the things which are useful to me, and you're saying take it away. And so there is all this desire for protecting. And so that means what? There is a universal distrust. I'm not saying you are wrong in locking the door. And don't say, okay, after the lecture today, Swamiji said, was questioning locking the door. And then I'm going to stop locking the door. Don't, please do not do that. Okay. And so I'm not saying do not protect what you possess. That is okay. But what I'm pointing to is why do we need to do that? Because there is a general distrust. Why is there a general distrust? Because those who do ullanghanam means the crossing, transgression of dharma is universal. And so anytime now the situation is so bad in Kali Yuga that anytime I meet somebody, what is the first thought that comes? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? What are you going to ask me? Pujya Swamiji used to say that I can make, he used to say, he used to joke, I can make the richest person become poor in 1 second. Give me just 1 second. How, Swamiji? How? Well, I will ask him for a donation. And what will he say? Swamiji, I'm so sorry, I don't have. I can't give, I don't have. When you say I don't have, that means there is poverty. And so like this there is the there is the distrust, and the distrust is very rampant. So the distrust is all over. Everybody is looking at you suspiciously, and not to be outdone, you are looking at everybody suspiciously. And you look around and say, oh, this person is like this. We come to judgment. This person is always asking for something. And so when you see that person, you duck behind a tree so that you don't have to answer them and give them anything. And so there is rampant distrust, universal distrust because of Kali Yuga and so many other things. You know, writing in 1835, Lord Macaulay, don't get me started on him, but anyhow, this Lord Macaulay wrote that you could leave a bag of gold in the middle of the road, and after 2 months he had done this experiment, or I don't know how he found this out. After 2 months it would still be there. Only thing is somebody would have put it on the side of the road so that it would not impede the horses and everything that are pedestrian traffic. That is how India was in 1835. So then almost 200 years later, we cannot even recognize that. We have disbelief when anybody tells us that. And we may not believe everything that Macaulay says, but this thing we should definitely believe, because he is not a friendly reporter. He is a very unfriendly reporter. And so when he says there was a lot of dharma, it is time to sit up and take notice. So this is the universal distrust. Then hooking into that universal distrust is a personal distrust based on one's own hurts, one's own pains, one's own sorrows, one's own fears, and one's own difficulties. Everybody goes through that. There is a, even in the personal vyashti, at the vyashti level also, there is a difference. And what is the difference? There is a individual component and a collective component even at the vyashti level. What is the individual the collective component? Everybody has this distrust based on their own childhood. Everybody has. So mother is not mother. You have to put an S in front of that word. Smother. Smother means completely suffocated. Helicopter mother. Completely suffocated the child. What are you doing? Where are you going? How are you doing this? And so therefore that also this thing. And the father, you have to put a R there. Was farther and farther away. That's why it is called father. The R is silent. Father is farther and farther away. And what is the mother? Smother. Some mother, some mothers are smothers, and sometimes the M is silent. Other, meaning, who are you? The child is asking because they come total neglect. So all these things are there. And then what? As a result, the child grows up very distrustful. Distrustful what? Convinced nobody can be there for me. I'm all on my own. I have to make it on my own. Nobody will be there. Nobody will listen. Nobody cares. This is the conclusion that the child comes to at a very, very young age. Crying, and then it does. Nobody listens to the child. Nobody picks up the child. Or the child is abused in so many ways, emotionally, and emotionally abused, physically abused, and sometimes god forbid sexually abused. Very difficult for this child to grow up without a unconscious that is burdening the child. And so therefore what? So therefore the need here is to recognize that this is the individual part. I have to recognize this hurt. I have to take responsibility for this hurt. Usually, what happens? The finger is called, the blaming finger, accusing finger. Because of mother, I am like this. No, because of mother, you are not like this. But you only said the mother could be other or mother could be smother. Yes, all that is there. But then you because of mother I'm like this. If you go away with that conclusion, that would be the saddest situation in the world. Because of father I'm like this, if you go away with the conclusion, there is that is only a partial discovery of the self. Here self means the one that is mind body complex ahankara, that self. Only a partial discovery. And this is what you get if you go to not physiotherapy, what is that? Psychological therapy. If you go to therapy, the therapist will say, therapist will agree with you. Yes, you had a terrible mother, a terrible father, a terrible upbringing. And because of them, all these issues you have. But for the heart is not happy with this conclusion. That is why the Taittiriya Upanishad says there is one more place to go beyond this. And the heart knows, one knows this. And what is that place? Matradevo bhava, Pitradevo bhava, Acharya devo bhava, Atithi devo bhava. And this is wrongly translated in so many places. If you translate Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, if you read the translation, make mother into, see mother as God, see father as God. How can I see mother and father as God? The people who put so much hurt, how can I see them as God? If you take away the G, okay, I can see them as odd, but not God. How can I see them as God? This is impossible. But that's not the translation. The translation is Bhava, you be. It is imperative mode, meaning it is imperative that you should be. It's an order from the Veda. From Vedanta, it's a Vedantic order. It's an ordinance. You be. Bhava means you be. Okay, what should I be? Be the one unto whom the mother, the father, etc., and the hurts they put on you are non-separate from the manifestation which is Ishvara. That's a very different thing. That's a completely different understanding than thinking of mother as God and father as God. Nobody can do that. Because you see the mother behaving oddly. And so, how can you do this? One day available, another day gone, and one day sick, one day not there. All these things are there. But you can see you can come to terms with your parentage by dragging Ishvara into the picture. Ishvara in the form of that karma which gave you this mother, which gave you this father, which gave you this background, which gave you this parentage. Oh, great. Before I was angry with the mother, father. Now I'm angry with Ishvara. Actually, that's a good place. That's a good place to transcend the anger from the mother and father and what? And then get angry at Ishvara. Oh, but it's Ishvara. How can I get angry at Ishvara? Try. It's actually very fulfilling. It is the best kind of therapy. It is super therapy to get angry at Ishvara, because especially in the Hindu Dharma, it is not blasphemy to tell Ishvara what you really think. That's why in the Sri Rudram we abuse Ishvara. Drape, meaning you disgusting looking fellow. Andha saspate. Are you blind? What kind of karma have you given me? Are you out of your mind? And look, what are you doing? You're pointing your arrows at me. The arrows of karma phala. Look, this person has been less dharmic than me. Point it there. Don't point it at me. We say all these things in the Sri Rudram. Sri Rudram is amazing. You can abuse Bhagavan, no problem. Why do I say it's not a problem? Because in our tradition, that abuse is a form of prayer. Really, it is the beginnings of prayer, because you have understood the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is not Bhagavan, but you think that it is Bhagavan. The root of the problem is your own karma. And that nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody wants to agree. And so it's okay to point finger at Bhagavan. And in the Hindu tradition, all the deities are smiling and giving abhaya. Abhaya means this hand mudra. Abhaya mudra. What does this mudra mean? This mudra means don't fear, I am here. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm angry. Don't worry, I'm still smiling at you. There is no Bhagavan which is frowning, except if you take Kali or Kala Bhairava. That's not for the faint of heart. That is for people much more sophisticated understanding to surrender to Kala Bhairava. But all the other iterations of Bhagavan, they are happy, they are smiling at you. And that itself is a very big change. That is the beginning of S for Shraddha. At least the S has come, and the other letters will soon come. And the whole word will be formed. So this Shraddha is to be discovered. The potential for this Shraddha is to be discovered, and the Shraddha is to be cultivated. It is to be cultivated with self-love, self-care, all these things. And when the Shraddha is cultivated, then, matters start to change. And that the possibility is there. The possibility for this Shraddha to be cultivated atraiva, in this life. And the possibility for when this Shraddha is cultivated, then what happens? The Jagat is no longer seen with my own projection. The projection of the unconscious mind does not color the Jagat. Then what does it do? Then the projection of the unconscious mind is withdrawn, and you see Jagat as Bhagavan. Jagat is not out to get me. Before, the whole Jagat is out to get me. The world is my enemy. This one wants that from me. This one doesn't trust me. This one is an idiot. That one is a donkey. All these things in the heart, these judgments, they go away. And you see the Jagat as totally neutral. It simply is. What is Ishvara. If you spell Ishvara in English, what are the first two letters? Is. What is Ishvara. And what is the job of Mundakopanishad? To show that this Ishvara is I. That is what it is. And so this Shraddha is a very, very important aspect of this knowledge. And so it is cultivated and understanding the whole Jagat as Bhagavan. Then Satyam here is not Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Satya Bhashanam. Satya Bhashanam again is very important, without which is connected to Shraddha, which is connected to self growth, which is connected to dropping the projections of the unconscious mind. How is that connected? It is connected in a very, very nice way. And so then it is connected in a wonderful way. And so how is it connected? Actually, it is connected because this Shraddha is all about objectivity. I cannot look at the world objectively until and unless I have dharma. And unless I can look at my inner world objectively. When I look at the inner world objectively, then the outer world is also extremely objective. So here, Satya Bhashanam stops that division within. So if I know something to be untrue, some small thing, somebody in their hand is having a wonderful dish that you like very much, and they are passing you by. And then they ask, "Oh, have you had your breakfast?" And you have had a very heavy breakfast. But then you want that also. So what do you say? No, 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 I haven't eaten. I haven't eaten. Why? Because I want that chocolate cake that you have in your hand. I want that, and I'm afraid that if I say I have already eaten, you may say, "Oh, okay, I was going to give you this, but I'll give it to somebody else." No, 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 I want this. And so instead of saying, "I want this," and looking very greedy, what do you say? I haven't eaten at all. See, all my, all my cheeks have gone in. So hungry, haven't eaten. Please give. Small lie. You think it is harmless. That person never knows. And you got to scarf down this wonderful thing, whatever they had, and you had your breakfast and they never knew, and you feel, "Oh, no problem, I'm fine." This was a small lie. Bhagavan will forgive. Whether Bhagavan forgives or not, it is doing havoc to your insides. "Oh, but my stomach is fine." Inside doesn't mean stomach. Inside here is antahkarana. Why? You know. Even forget whether Bhagavan knows or not. Forget whether the whole world knows or not. Forget whether that person to whom you told this knows or not. What makes the difference? You know. Aap jante ho. You know that what you have said is not true. There is a split in between. between the jnata, the knower, and the karta, the one that held the hand out for a little handout of the cake, held the hand out. Okay, so between the karta and the jnata, there is a split, and this split, so long as it's maintained, it's a split between the head and the heart. I tell you, the heart knows different, and the head is doing something else. And so, how can the knowledge of Advayam Brahma, non-dual Brahma, come inside an Antahkarana that is riddled with this duality? What is the duality? Jnata is somebody other than Karta. And I can't handle the fact that I have lied. So I separate, I disconnect. There is Jnata separate, Karta separate, and the lies continue. And so, therefore, that is very inimical to one's being, to one's very being. It is hurtful. We don't know. We don't see it because it's all sukshma. On the subtle level, we think it is operating, but actually, it is giving a lot of problems to the person that is there. The why? Because the vision of oneness, which is Vedanta, cannot sit in a heart that has this duality. Even if it comes and sits by mistake, it will not say, "Give me a cup of tea, I'm here to stay." No, it will run away. It will immediately run away. Just like if you go to somebody's house and they are living like pigs and they have full of all kinds of things, in the house. Like sometimes you see in the news item, in the websites and all, what do you see? That somebody raided, the police raided the house, animal control raided the house, 2 bedroom house, full of cats and dogs, and 100 cats and 45 dogs rescued, because how will they all stay? How will the people also stay? Full of filth, full of all kinds of things. So if you go to somebody's house like that, would you like to stay? No, you will immediately run away. Similarly, the knowledge of oneness runs away from a heart that has this split, that has this split. And that split is overcome by Satya Bhashanam. No matter how afraid you are that the chocolate cake you really want is going to go away, you can say, "I have had breakfast, but I really love this, and please give it to me." Oh, but what will they think? This is a bimari. This is a kind of a disease. Everybody has this. What will they think itis? This is a this is some kind of a fear. That fear has to drop. And then this is all part of Satyam. Satyam. There is something which is very lovable about not wanting to hide. And when people are not doing that, they are just very, very lovable. Somebody was telling me a few days back that I know that as a Vedantin, I'm supposed to have a say over how much I eat and what I eat. But what can I do? I love food. I'm a foodie. I found that so lovable because there is acceptance, because there is a certain self acceptance even at this level, and because there is a comfort in sharing that. Otherwise, one is not one is trying to pretend. This is called a kind of a spiritual, what is that, romanticism. So this is called spiritual romanticism, and so therefore this is that kind of a thing. Some kind of a spiritual, what is that called, a presentation that is not uh, really in keeping with who you are. You present yourself as very knowledgeable, and but at the same time your conduct and your behavior is different from how you present yourself. And for in such a heart, Advaita takes a long time to come and sit And therefore, Satya Bhashanam is very, very important. Brahmacharya is a religious life, ashram life, also celibacy. And celibacy, why is that important? I mean, this is for people not in grahastha and so celibacy becomes important because it is a big distraction. The needs of the body, and they're not really needs, they are wants, really. So the needs of the body, so to speak, what happens, they think that it is it is it is a lot of it has a persuasive power. They think it's very, very important, and so it hijacks the person from their very being. That's why it is called falling in love. Nobody walks in love, they fall. That is what, even in English, even without Vedanta, we understand this. It's called falling. There is a chuti. Chuti means fall. And so that is what it is. Falling means I have to scramble to find myself. I'm gone. So then, for people interested in this knowledge, who are serious about this knowledge, this brahmacharya, this religious discipline of abstinence, at least for the time that one is studying, for especially if you're doing a long-term course and all that, very, very, very important. Okay, and so that is brahmacharyam. And then what else? Vidhi. Vidhi means the vidhi nisheda. We have seen that. Vidhishcha. Vidhi is all the Vedic injunctions are followed. Why? Because at the center is you. Veda is hitaishini, sahasra matravat, like 1,000 functional mothers. Not other, not smother, mother. Yeah. Veda reparents you. Veda mothers you by telling, Beta, don't go here. You will have difficulty. Don't do this. And please do this. So the Veda, allowing oneself to be mothered and reparented by the Veda, because having the Shraddha, that's why Shraddha came first, having the Shraddha that this mother is not going to disappoint me. And that is why the Vidhi becomes very important, because one should not get derailed from the road of Dharma. The road of Dharma, paved with the stones of Shama, Dama, Uparati, etc., is leading to moksha. Of course, it's all oneself. Moksha is you already have moksha, but that road of dharma is the road of shastra, road of knowledge, which makes you understand this very well. And so, therefore, what? So, therefore, we have to make sure that these vidhis are followed, nishedhas are followed. Let us look at the text again for the next mantra. Very interesting mantra. Mantra 8. सप्त प्राणाः प्रभवन्ति तस्मात् सप्तार्चिषः समिधः सप्त होमाः सप्त इमे लोका येषु चरन्ति प्राणाः गुहाशया निहिताः सप्त 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 प्राणाः प्रभवन्ति तस्मात् सप्तार्चिषः समिधः सप्त होमाः सप्त इमे लोका येषु चरन्ति प्राणाः गुहाशया निहिता sapta sapta. Finally, this is coming to a close. Only one more verse is there in this section, and so the teacher here. Who is the teacher here? Who knows? Who remembers? Who cares? Who is the teacher of the Mundakopanishad? Sudden quiz towards the end of the class. Oh no! What happened? Who is the teacher? जल्दी बताओ. Unmute yourself or type in the chat pod.
Angirasa.
Yeah?
Angiras.
Angiras. Abba. Yeah, it took time, but correct answer came. Congratulations. When I see you in person, I will give you some special thing. Okay, for remembering that. So, Angiras. Now that we know this thing, who is the student? Who is the student? Who is the Shishya? Don't say I am the Shishya because I'm studying Mundakopanishad. Who is the Shishya? Everybody is scrolling back. Everybody is looking back in the book. I'm seeing everything here, yeah. Who is the Shishya? Nobody knows.
Is it Mun?
Shaunaka.
Chau-
Shaunaka.
Okay.
Conversation, dialogue between Shaunaka, who is a rishi because he gained this knowledge from who? Angiras. Rishi Angiras. That whole parampara is given in the beginning. This is why. Okay. So we should remember all this. This is nice to remember. So then the teacher is now bringing this knowledge home by talking about Bhagavan in the form of this body, the karmendriyas, and especially the jnanendriyas. Jnanendriyas are Bhagavan, and the person who is operating the Indriyas, that is, that indweller, is this Bhagavan within the dwelling within the body mind sense complex. And then, so therefore, what? So these are this is the teaching. And so here there is, of course, a pun on the word seven. Sapta sapta. I was teaching Mundakopanishad once in Georgia, and then there were some Cherokee Native American people, and then they were very excited. I think Pranita must have been there for that. So they were very excited, and they said, even in our tradition, seven is a very important number. Seven. They were so excited. They were just very happy with this verse. And they said, yes, we must have been one at some point. And seven is a very important number. So there is, for the indigenous Cherokee people, seven is a very important number. Apparently, here also, even for us, seven lokas, seven everything. So, like this, seven oceans, sapta samudraha, sapta sindhavaha, and then seven like this. And here, the seven lokas up, seven lokas down, like this there are. And then all this is given very beautifully. And here, the word seven. The number seven is stretched as long as and however much it can be stretched. And there is a nice word play on this number seven. Let us see. Sapta pranaha. So the seven pranas. First, let us just read it and understand the translation. Then we will go. Then prabhavanti tasmat. Tasmat is what? Kasmat purushat. From that purusha, purishete, not the one who is purishete, but sarvan purayati iti purushaha, the one that completes everything, the one who is everything, and the one who is going to be revealed as everything. Purusha eva idam sarvam. And then that is going to be in mantra number 10. It is going to come. So here, Tasmat Purushat, from that Bhagavan, these seven pranas have come out. And if you are having questions, oh, I only know five pranas, hold on. Okay. Yeah, we'll translate and then we'll come back. And then Sapta Archishaha. Archish means offerings, which you put in the homa. Seven are the offerings. Samidhaha, and the seven is the fuel. And then how many homas are there? Also seven. Okay, any question I ask, the answer is seven. All right, yeah. Then there are lokas. How many lokas there are? Seven. Yeah, in which the pranas move. Yeshu charanti pranaha. And guhashaya nihitaha. And where are these pranas? They are in a cave, sleeping in the cave. Cave here is heart. Guha always is hrit. Hrit is the guha. So we have to understand Hrit as the guha. So guha, shaya, nihitaha, sapta, sapta. All these 7 things are in, are what? They are all in the, in the heart. It's all in the heart. That is what is being, that is what is being talked about here, and very beautiful. So we'll see a little bit of this and we'll have to continue next time. So this all these, after talking about all the assorted items in the creation, we so sapta pranaha, 7 prana. So it's all about now the body mind sense complex. So normally sapta pranaha, and the pranaha here is not prana, it is indriyani, indriyas. Okay, you got out of one problem, but you have put us in another problems. You say, okay, pancha pranaha, all right, but sapta pranaha, the pranas are not prana, they are indriya, sense organs. But even how many sense organs? 5. Here 7. How 2 more were born? 7, how? So we have to be a little imaginative and creative. How many eyes? 2. How many ears? 2. That is 4. Correct? How many nostrils? 2. 6. And how many mouths? Don't say 2, okay? Yeah, you're in trouble. Even with one mouth, we cannot stop eating. So, if we had another mouth, finished. All right. Yeah. So, one mouth. This is the Upanishad's count. Upanishad has its own way of counting. Fantastic way of counting, and the Upanishad counts in its own way. And it is nice to, it's nice to wake up and go away from just this. If supposing the Upanishad had said, Pancha pranaha prabhavanti tasmat, Pancharchishaha, Panchahomaha, and guhashaya nihita pancha pancha. If it had said like that, yeah, I have been there, I know this, and then what? The mind goes away somewhere into some manorajya. Manorajya means the kingdom of the mind, which is famous for drifting and daydreaming of all the things. Oh, yeah, only 3 minutes before the class ends. What will I do afterwards? And like this, already planning something. What do I have to do tomorrow? Oh no, lot of things, etc., etc. So, like this, there is there is a there is a there is an ability to drift off because you think you know. And that's why the word for Atma keeps getting changed. Sixth chapter of Chandogya, Sat. Tat Sat Sa Atma, Tvamasi Shvetaketu. And then what? Then we have Sat, and then in 7th chapter, very next chapter, it changes to Bhuman, Bhuma. Narada, who knows everything, goes to Sanat Kumara and says, Soham Bhagavah Shojami Shokasya Param Taretu Bhavan. So, when he says Soham, he actually means Ho-hum. Very boring I am. I know this, I know that, but still I am subject to grief. And for such a person, if the teacher had said, you are Brahman, you are Atma, he would have said yes, yes, and gone away and not understood it. So the teacher said, Yadalpam tan martyam tanna bhuma. Bhuma? What bhuma? It's almost like there is a bhukampa and there is a big earthquake. An inner earthquake. As soon as he hears the word bhuma, he wakes up. And so here also, even though the class is ending, you're supposed to wake up and be alive to the reality of of ingeniously counting the sense organs based on the golakas. Golaka means the place where the sense organs are situated, and so we make a distinction between indriyas, which are the sense organs which travel and then come back with the information, that is sukshma. But then the sukshma eyes cannot function without the sthula eyes. Sthula eyes are there, the organs are there, they are called golakas. More about that next time. When is next time? Let me look at the date and give you the date. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. My calendar is here. June. Yeah, already end of May. Yeah, so then uh, not next week, uh, but not 4th, but 11th of June. Okay. 11th of June in 2 weeks. And Meenal, if you are there, you can please put it on the website. 11th of June. Next weekend, we will have Bodhasara. We didn't have it last time. Okay. Yeah. So this time we'll just alternate. So it'll be a little lighter schedule. And so we can do that. Tomorrow, same time, Gita Bhashya. All right. So ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Some questions are there. What is that? Initially, the observer is separate from the mind and intellect. It won't merge. There is nothing to merge. All that is there is it. Yeah. Merge means there are two and they have to become one. There is no two. Arjavam, uh, Manasa Vachasa. Is it Arjavam? Is what Arjavam? I don't know, but anyhow. So I'm sure it is. Yeah. So Satya Bhashanam, yes, it is part of Arjavam. Correct. Arjavam Ruju Bhava. Yes. Correct. All right. Om. Om Tat Sat.